Have you ever stopped to think how crazy it is that plants from all over the world can survive in a single room in our homes? I mean, they come from Africa, China, Indonesia, even Colombia, and somehow they're able to adapt to my home in the Arizona desert. This is really only possible because we're able to control their environment, mainly their potting mix. In this video, we're going to take a look at various potting mix components and what they can do for your plants. The perfect potting mix for any plant is going to provide the right balance of nutrients, drainage, and moisture control. Using the wrong potting mix can lead to root rot if there's too much moisture, stunted growth if it compacts too much, or nutrient deficiencies if it lacks organic matter. First, let's talk about some of the water retention components. Peat moss is a soft fibrous material. It's made from decomposed sphagnum moss. It's lightweight, fluffy, and great at holding on to moisture, so plants like calatheas that like to stay consistently damp can really benefit from having peat moss in the potting mix. Just keep in mind though that peat moss can be acidic, so you can keep the pH balanced by adding a little bit of baking soda or lime to your potting mix. Coco coir is similar to peat moss, but it does not have the acidic nature. A lot of people like to use this as an alternative for that reason. It's actually made from coconut husk fibers. Next up is one of my favorites. We have sphagnum moss. Earlier this month, I took some seeds from a pepper that I ate and placed them in damp moss. I then covered the container with the lid, and just 8 days later, they germinated. Here's what they look like today. Sphagnum moss is also a fibrous material and it's amazing at retaining moisture. I love to put my cuttings in moss and then put a lid on it. Usually I don't have to water them for a while. This container that I sprayed down has not been watered since February 8th and I still got all of this germination. Another reason why I love propagating in moss is that it makes transitioning to soil much easier than moving a plant from water to soil. Water-grown roots tend to be a little more delicate, while roots grown in moss or other solid potting medias are a little bit stronger. When I move this syngonium to soil, I'm going to keep this entire moss clump around the roots instead of pulling it off. This is going to help the plant get a head start by already having something solid to grip onto. So next we're going to talk about aeration and drainage components. The purpose of these components is to stop your potting mix from compacting, but also allow enough oxygen to get to your roots. Perlite is a type of volcanic glass. It's full of air pockets and it has a really high water content. When we put this in our potting mix, it helps pull out some of the excess water and it also provides a little bit of aeration because of those air pockets. Pumice is very similar, but this is a volcanic rock. It's a little more durable than perlite and it lasts longer in your potting mix. Next up, we have sand. And I'm not talking about fine beach sand, I'm talking about coarse sand. You put this into your potting mix to help pull out some of the excess water as well. This is especially useful for plants like succulents that don't like to stay wet for a long time. LECA is short for lightweight expanded clay aggregate. It's made up of small baked clay pellets. It's lightweight and porous, and it's great for hydroponic or semi-hydroponic setups because it provides great drainage and airflow to your roots. Pon or lechuza pon is a high-quality mineral-based growing media, and it's made from a blend of zeolite, pumice, and lava rock. Zeolite is just a natural occurring mineral, and it's known for its ability to absorb and release nutrients while also improving aeration and moisture retention. Unlike traditional soil though, pon maintains its structure over time and it doesn't compact or clump. This ensures better airflow for your plant roots. And because it's entirely mineral based, it doesn't create a hospitable environment for fungi or pests like fungus gnats, so it's cleaner and lower maintenance than soil. Fluval stratum is a nutrient-rich volcanic soil substrate that's originally designed for aquatic plants, but some people like to use it as a potting mix component for their houseplants. It provides essential nutrients like iron, magnesium, potassium, and sodium, which all support healthy plant growth. Its lightweight and porous structure helps with aeration and drainage as well. It also maintains a neutral to slightly acidic pH, which is perfect for acid-loving plants like anthuriums and philodendrons. Also, its volcanic composition resists compaction just like pon, so the roots get the oxygen they need. Orchid bark is a coarse bark mix, and it's a really popular choice for potting plants because it provides that drainage and airflow very easily. It's especially good for plants like orchids, hoyas, and aroids. It dries out quickly and helps prevent too much water from sitting in the soil, which can cause root rot. Over time, the bark is actually going to break down and add additional nutrients to the soil, but because of this, you may need to replace it kind of often in order to keep your soil with that chunky consistency. It's great for plants that like to dry out between waterings like philodendrons and monsteras, and it helps keep the roots healthy and gives them the airflow they need. Cocoa chips are a great alternative to orchid bark, especially if you need a potting mix that's going to retain more moisture. Unlike bark, which is going to break down fast and dry out quickly, cocoa chips actually hold on to moisture for longer and they still provide good aeration. This makes them ideal for moisture-loving plants like calatheas and anthuriums. Another benefit is that cocoa chips are actually more resistant to decomposition than bark. This means that they're going to last longer in your mix without needing to be replaced frequently. Now let's talk about some nutrient sources. These are going to help supply your plants with nutrients over time. First up, we have compost. which is really just decomposed organic matter. You've probably seen people saving their eggshells or banana peels. That's all the compost. It's full of nutrients and beneficial microorganisms that support healthy plant growth. Worm castings is basically just worm poop. You put this in your potting mix and it acts like a slow-release fertilizer. It's rich in nutrients and beneficial microbes, so it helps improve the overall health of your soil. In turn, that helps improve the overall health of your plants. Horticultural charcoal removes excess moisture from the potting mix, but it can also remove odors and toxins. Horticultural charcoal is not a direct nutrient source, but it can help prevent nutrient runoff, which makes nutrients more readily available to the plants, and it can improve the soil structure, making it easier for roots to grow and access nutrients. Now let's talk about some of the common potting mix mistakes beginners make so that you don't have to make them yourself. The first one is improper fertilization or nutrient supply. Some potting mix components like sphagnum moss don't provide nutrients for your plant. If you plan to grow a plant in moss for a long time, you're going to want to consider adding other ingredients that provide nutrients or watering with a liquid fertilizer in order to keep your plant happy. On the other hand, if you have something like fluval stratum, which is packed with nutrients, fertilizing a plant that's already in a medium like that can cause fertilizer burn and leaf loss. The next mistake is using the same potting mix for every plant. If you put a cactus in a moisture-retaining soil, it's going to have a hard time. And if you put a fern or another moisture-loving plant in a fast-drying soil, it's also going to have a hard time. The last mistake beginners make, usually related to just soil, is overcompacting. So when you're potting up your plant, if you press down the soil too hard, you're going to remove the air pockets that the roots need in order to thrive. Now let's take a look at some different types of plants and their ideal potting mixes. These are not the only potting mixes that'll work for these plants. It's just a suggestion, and ultimately you're going to want to find the one that works best for your home environment.